If you're just joining us, this is the fourth and final segment of Roadworthy Drive. Regular listeners know that over the last few years, we've kept you informed as a variety of new EV manufacturers and or wannabes appear on the horizon with the intent to develop, design, and manufacture EVs for sale in the United States. What we haven't done is give you the blow-by-blow of the traditional automotive manufacturers that have announced their intent to go all electric in the next 5 to 15 years. So with that, let's bring you up to date. Now, I've said many times, and I'm going to say it again, that honestly, BMW, of all people, was the first automaker to actually make the commitment to go all electric, and they said that 6 years ago. Now, what's driving this? Well, we've talked about this a number of times. Not only are countries, cities, and some states moving to ban internal combustion engine vehicles, but Great Britain just moved theirs up by 5 years to 2030, and California wants to do it by 2035. As of now, some 10 automakers have laid out plans to fully electrify their product lines. GM actually went on record to say, hey, we're not going to even make an internal combustion vehicle starting in 2035. We're done. We're out. We're gone. Bye. See ya.
Except our big trucks.
Well, and honestly, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to have...
Let's just put a little asterisk next to it. That's it.
Honestly, for the volume you're talking about, on, 4.5 million vehicles they build a year, and you're looking at maybe, 200,000-300,000? If that...
That's good. That's good to know. That's good context.
Yeah, I mean...
Good context.
Let's keep it real here. For the record...
We're mostly done.
For the record, we know that the internal combustion engine is not going away totally in the next 20 to 30 years. Will it diminish in its importance? Absolutely. But there are going to be applications where it's still the best choice and maybe the only choice, but it's going to be more specialty applications as we go along. I think, some heavy truck applications, some construction applications, some other applications like that where it just either unsafe or doesn't make sense economically to go there. But as far as being the dominant power source, no, their days are numbered. Like we said, GM said that they will have 30 battery electric vehicles in global showrooms in less than 4 years. And within 10 years, won't be making internal combustion engine vehicles at all. And fun fact, Cadillac will be the first nameplate to go 100% electric by 2030. For the record, people, that's in a little less than 8 years from now, which in the auto industry is literally a blink of an eye. We talked about Volkswagen, and it's a little bit complicated, so I'll try to walk you through this. And we're talking about the Volkswagen nameplate because they have several different nameplates. So we're talking about the Volkswagen nameplate particularly. They're spending $80 billion to bring out 50 battery electric vehicles by mid-decade. That is in less than 4 years. 50 around the world. $80 billion. However, they did not say when they would get out of the gasoline and diesel business. But honestly, if you're spending $80 billion and you're going to bring out 50 vehicles around the world, I would say that you are on track to minimize internal combustion engine spending, and that's not where you're going. Yeah. In fact, Mercedes-Benz actually said, going forward, we're not spending any more money in internal combustion engine development. We're going to concentrate on our electric brands and electric vehicles. Mm-hmm. So there's that. Now, Audi is a VW brand. While there's like I said, they have been bringing out, they've got their new e-tron GT sports car. They have not announced formally when they're getting out of the business, but they're hinting about 10 to 15 years they'll be out. I want to skip around a little bit. I want to get into Ford. Ford hasn't really said when they're going to phase out, but again, they upped the amount of money they're spending to around $29 billion and bringing out a number of vehicles around the world. Although they did say last month they're going to only offer plug-in hybrids and pure battery electric vehicles in Europe in about 5 years.
I saw that. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about. But
And again, being a global manufacturer, the U.S. could not be far behind because it makes no sense economically to support two different platforms like that. They're going to streamline. And as they gain traction in Europe, that will happen in the United States. They're also coming out with an all-electric version of the F-150 that is their bread and butter vehicle and the best-selling vehicle in the United States and has been for years. So they're on the way.
keeping their toes in both waters.
For now, which makes sense. Let me skip to my favorite people, Stellantis, formerly Fiat Chrysler. They know what they're doing. Now, they're the fourth largest automaker in the world, believe it or not, that merger created. And there's some questions. It seemed that PSA was further along in electrification. Fiat Chrysler basically thumbed their nose at it, and they're playing catch up. So the question is, they really haven't said where they're going, although the Fiat brand is set to have 60% of its offerings either hybrid or fully electric by the end of this year. But remember, Fiat already had an E500 that they were building of their little car. So they kind of had something. So the question is, how much of PSA's technology will find its way into the Fiat Chrysler side of the house? And will it find its way into the volume bread and butter like the Jeep brands, which we're looking at hybrids, the Ram trucks, which is where they make a lot of money. I mean, right now, Jeep and Ram is where the Fiat Chrysler side of the house makes their money, and really why PSA bought them, because that's where the money is. That's where the profit is. Yet we have not heard about an electric Ram, an electric Jeep, although they're, at least I would say Jeep is probably closer, but there's no timetable for them getting out of it at all. So that's a question. We talked about Daimler-Benz. Let me touch base with Toyota for a hot minute. Toyota is kind of late to the party, and they're kind of a study in contrast. On the one hand, Toyota is like, we're not sure this electric thing's going to be, but they've spent a lot of money and a lot of time developing fuel cell electric technology for heavy trucks. They don't build a heavy truck, but they've been working in the port of Long Beach for the last 3 to 4 years and working with major truck manufacturers to develop it. They developed the Mirai, which is a really neat four-passenger car that I actually drove, which was way cool. So they've that, and they're developing, solid state battery technology using lithium ion. So they're kind of easing into it, but on the one hand, they're spending a lot of money, and on the other hand, they're like, meh. So we're going to have to see, because they haven't made a commitment.
We can't even get to all these.
Huh?
We can't even get to all these.
And we won't.
And I was asking, because a lot of these seem like more upper-end car brands. Does that mean anything, or are they able to do it because...
Money.
Yeah.
It's always the money.
Yeah.
I mean, this got to make economic sense.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these are businesses. And it's got to make economic sense. They know it's going to take time for all these other issues to work out. So you're going to start with the ones where you got the profit built in, that I can build these, get them out there in volume, learn how to build them, get good at building them, and work on getting the prices down.